hardest part of starting a vlog is this part. Hi, hello, hi friends. I don't know, we're just gonna jump right in there. So it's the end of July, or nearly the end of July. Can you even believe that? And I'm just back in the studio today, finally. I've had a little bit of time away. I will go into that and I'll share some of my adventures a little further on in the video. But first of all, today I need to do a job here that I'm actually really not looking forward to doing. I have to varnish and seal some of these birds. There has been a couple of little mishaps. So the thing about painting with gouache is once it's dry, it can be easily reactivated by water. So up here, I don't know if you can see, you probably can't, there's a plant up there, and one day I was watering the plant and I think some drops of water fell down from the watering can and landed upon my painting there. And what happened as those little water droplets rolled down, they reactivated the gouache and they made quite a mess. I've fixed most of that problem up. I just did notice there's a couple of little touch-ups I need to do still before I seal them. The problem is I don't know how to go about sealing these because of that thing with gouache and it being able to be reactivated. I've tried quite a few different varnishes. I've got little test bits of wood everywhere and I'm just not quite happy with how any of these have turned out. Even the matte varnish I've used has turned out quite glossy. Not sure if you can see. It's got a lovely sheen on it. And I think that really detracts from the matte finish that gouache is known for. And I would really like to keep that matte finish. I just don't know how to go about it. I'm thinking I might try wax. I did use wax on my little wood slices from my 100-day project, the little birds. The thing is, these birds are so much bigger and I just don't know how that's going to go. I'm thinking I might just wing it and, rub in some wax and see how it turns out. I just really don't want to wreck these paintings. So, anyway, I have a bit to do here today. I just wanted to invite you into my studio to watch the process. It's probably not going to be the most riveting content, but I actually just want to talk while I'm working about what's been going on because there's a reason why I'm still sitting here in front of the same bird that I was sitting in front of in last month's video. And we have a little bit of catching up to do. So I'm just going to get started with these touch-ups. I'm going to start on the background and you can listen to me ramble away. So this month I've just been feeling a little bit off mentally. I can't quite put my finger on it. I think there might be a little bit of like a pandemic fatigue going on. Maybe you can relate. I don't want to go into all of that. And I know here in Australia, in this part of Australia, we've been quite lucky as far as all that goes. But, we're 18 months into this thing now and it may as well be April 2020 here. We're still stuck here in Fortress Australia and the drawbridge is up. There's no coming or going and there's no end in sight. And I think I'm just tired. I'm tired of all of it, as you probably are too, as so many of us are. And I understand that I'm in a very privileged position here. I get that. And so it makes, having a whinge about whatever I'm going to whinge about seem very trivial in the big scheme of things. But as much as I've tried to just keep pushing through and creating, I'm just feeling really low energy and enthusiasm for all of it, for everything. And part of all this, I think, is that my man has been working from home since March 2020. I've gone from never seeing him to him being here 24/7, and his office is right next door to my studio. It's not even really an office, it's like a little study nook kind of thing. It doesn't have a door and it's got a cutout for a window, I guess. And he's loud and he is on calls all day, like all day. And when he's not on calls, he's banging on his keyboard. Sounds like there's a rat running around in there. Admittedly, he has started taking a lot of calls from another room with a door on it because it was actually driving me crazy. But I can still hear him. There's always a loud voice talking about spreadsheets or something. Anyway, I just can't seem to get into my zone. I've always needed to be alone to create just peace and quiet and alone time. That's the environment that I need to do my thing. It's just how I work, and now I'm just feeling kind of stuck in limbo, and I'm struggling even with recording videos. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to record something, or I've been in the process of recording something and I've been interrupted by some noise or him just randomly popping his head in here or talking to the dog somewhere else. It's just really challenging. I've actually kicked him out of the house today just to get this video done. I don't really I'm not that great with, I don't feel really comfortable talking to the camera as it is, let alone, with someone in the next room. So he's outside right now while I get this done. And obviously that's not ideal for either of us. But that's just where it's at the moment, and there's no end in sight there either. I feel like I need to put a disclaimer in here, I guess, because it's YouTube. I feel like I have to put a disclaimer in here that actually I do love my husband. It's been a little bit challenging, the work situation is all. There's a lot of good things about him being home, but yeah, it's challenging to get any work done. This is just not happening. But it is what it is, and I have to find a way to adapt or retire or something. I'm not sure. And so this last month has just been a little bit tough. I haven't felt myself. I haven't felt my usual spark. There's just been this constant feeling of pointlessness in my work, and I don't know, just purposelessness in general, I think. And I haven't been able to find the usual levels of joy that I usually can find quite easily, even in the kind of ordinary and mundane things. I didn't even think I was actually going to have a video this month because I had zero interest in picking up my camera, let alone being in front of my camera. I haven't been sleeping well, which isn't out of the ordinary for me, but I've just been really feeling flat and disconnected, and I've been trying to be kind and patient with myself, but weeks are turning into months, and there's just this underlying feeling of guilt. I start shoulding all over myself, should be doing this, should be doing that, and in the midst of it all, I've been trying to create this collection of birds. This is not going well, so I forgot that this colour didn't exactly match this section of the background, so I've gone in and patched it up using this, and now I've just got a random blob there. So, I don't know, this background is not the greatest. It's quite patchy as it is, But I think I might have to try and match that colour, which is mission impossible, and fix that section. Before I repaint it, I'm just going to try wetting it. My last attempt at saving myself here. See if I can blend it all out with water. This is a magic of gouache, maybe. Maybe magic, maybe not. We'll see when it dries. It's really hard to tell with gouache what's what until it dries. This is the moment. Going to have a go at waxing this. I don't know, probably don't do what I do. You're probably supposed to wear a glove, and I don't know. I'm just going to try it on a little bit. Maybe around the side, and I'm trying it on this one with the lighter coloured background, so you know, if it goes wrong, I won't be able to see it so much. So this month I even tried the disciplined approach. I even set a little stopwatch and made myself paint for 4 hours a day, and I mean, there was progress, but it was like 2 steps forward, 3 steps back kind of progress. I painted and repainted sections of my bird, and it was just not flowing. The tears were, but the paint not so much. Oh my goodness. You know what I just realised? In my hurry to get all this filmed while my man's outside and the lighting is good for filming, I've been rushing a little bit, and I forgot to scan these before I started varnishing. Do not do as I do. I'm definitely going to scan them now. I mean, I've already started that one, but at least if I scan them, I have the ability to make a print if I wreck the original. And so in the end, I decided to take a break, a proper break, far away from here, from my house, from my studio, and my man and I actually figured out that it's been 5 years since we've been on a holiday together, just the two of us. We've been on some weekends away, sure, and we've been on holidays and adventures with other people, but last time we went on a holiday together, we were still living overseas, so we decided to jump in the car and we headed north. I had a little thinking time and a little bit of space to find some clarity, I think. And what I've realized once again is that I'm actually still doing this project because I feel like I should. and I didn't even realize it when I started these birds. I really thought that this was the path that I wanted to take, and I explained all that in a previous video. I thought I really wanted to make a collection of birds that I'm proud of, to make a calendar, to make fine art prints, but I realized that my motivator for pushing myself down this pathway actually came from a man. He calls himself my business productivity manager. I call him the admin girl, but he's been gently encouraging me in this direction of setting up a print shop for some time, and I guess that little whisper in my ear was internalized and sort of became a voice that I thought was mine. But the thing is, I don't want to go down this path again. I've been there. I mentioned at the start of this project that I used to make fine art prints. What I didn't mention was that I didn't enjoy it at all. I ended up becoming a production line, printing, packaging, and it left me with zero time for creativity and painting. Admittedly, I was working an admin job at the time as well, but when I reflect on that season of my life and ask myself if I want to spend my days that way again, it's a hard no. I don't really even have space here for printing or drying prints or storage or even for packaging, and I'd have to clean up my painting space every time I had an order to package. And so I've realized once again that following these shoulds isn't really leading me down the right path, and it hasn't been an easy realization to come to because I've already put a lot of time and effort into this project, and I don't think it's necessarily the painting themselves that have been blocking me, even though they've been quite challenging, but it's just the end goal that I've set for myself, the time pressure of a calendar, the prints, and the pressure that I've been putting myself under to try and bring it all together, and the fact that I just don't want to run a print shop as such. I'm maybe more open to the idea of limited edition prints, I think. Maybe even mounted on wood to look like the original, just something a little bit more special. So I'm not going to ditch this project. I'll keep working away on the set of birds that I started, but without all the pressure. And in the meantime, I've really been asking myself what it is I want to do besides moving to a cottage in the country, surrounding myself with gardens and animals. I'm feeling quite sparked though by the idea of Patreon and having Happy Mail as one of the rewards. I really love the idea of sending out Happy Mail from my studio each month. I've actually been resisting the idea of Patreon for some time because my inner critic keeps telling me that as soon as I commit to do something like this, I won't want to do it anymore. While there is that possibility for sure, I think it's fear speaking. There's a fear of putting myself out there in this way, and there potentially being zero supporters and looking like an idiot, of course. And then there's the printing, packaging thing, but I think if it was just on a couple of days each month where I printed, say, 100 of the same print or postcard or whatever, and I did it all in bulk, that it would be much more manageable and kind of exciting. My love language in part is gifts, and I love receiving Happy Mail, but I also love giving gifts. And I really like the idea of putting together a little gift from my studio for supporters each month. And I also love the idea of having a community that's kind of like an inner circle away from, the very public platforms of social media, somewhere where I can share in a little more raw and unfiltered kind of way. I don't have colleagues as such, so it would be really nice to have a little community in a safe space to bounce ideas off, to get feedback, and to share the ins and outs of it all with. Anyway, it's just an idea that I'm incubating at the moment, and I'm going to keep mulling it over. I'd love to know if you have any thoughts about this, or if you already support any creators on Patreon, and maybe what you like or don't like. And now I think I just need to gather up all of my scattered energy and sort of channel it into something that I really want to do, something that's exciting. Because wanting to do something, it's a reason enough to do it, right? Right? Whether the outcome is good or bad shouldn't really be the point, should it? I guess the hope is that by using all of these feelings, as uncomfortable as they are, to sort of direct myself away from the blockage I've been feeling and into something more exciting, that eventually I'll find my groove again. That's the hope anyway, and until I can afford that cottage in the country and all of the goats that go with it, I guess I'll just be here working it out. So thank you for listening. I know this content, the waxing, hasn't been the most riveting content, but thank you for coming along for the ride anyway and just being here on my journey. And I will see you next month, and I look forward to sharing with you where I've landed and what I'm working on. Bye! Adventures further on in the video. Oh, there goes the light. Why? I hear, can you believe that? On in the video. What are you doing? What are you doing? Friends,